So, here we are on YouTube proper. Video space seems roomy. More room for comments, if we ever get any. Well, I guess this is home for the time being.
I'm glad you seem okay with it, Starch, because I gotta tell you, all this moving was a big pain.
Tell me about it. Re-uploading everything, figuring out what videos trip the endless hordes of overzealous content ID scrape bots, finding alternative hosting for those, editing old videos to adjust,
Packing up everything we own and moving it to a new place.
packing up everything we own and... Excuse me, Jim! We only changed video hosts following Blip's death by neglect after Maker Studios got all their coke and horrors money out of Disney. We didn't physically change locations.
Oh, maybe you only did, but now felt like a great time to change locales here as well. You know, shake things up, shift the paradox, pass the savings on to you.
But it looks like you haven't moved at all.
That's by design. People need change, but too much change can be scary. So, we look for a place that looks exactly like the old one, and thusly decorated it to match. Man, do you have any idea how hard it was to find two identical domiciles?
Seeing as you live smack dab in the middle of upper middle class suburbia, I'm going to guess not very.
Oh, excessively not very. Still, what's done is prologue, and now we gotta get back to this whole video thing we do. We kinda gotten out of the habit.
Did someone provide a shoddy lead-in?
Ugh, sigh of disappointment. Of course he'd find us on here.
Wow, I hadn't even finished filling out my change of address card.
I was just firing off some fraudulent content ID claims for which I will suffer no consequences when I overheard you two talking about bad habits. And as it turns out...
Oh, let me guess. You have a short that you claim will help us with our bad habits, but is actually chosen because it's so zod-awful it'll make our brains leak out of the ears that we have that you can't actually see.
Too predictable?
Just a titch. It does seem to be the premise for many of these intrusions.
Wow, sounds like I've got a bad habit. I gotta ponder this.
Can you do that without sending us the short?
Oh, hell no.
Didn't think so.
Well, while you're doing that, we can get a start on breaking the habit of using music we don't own. Take it away, new theme song!
The Quick Draw McGraw / King of the Hill mashup nobody asked for.
El Kabawong! Correlated with but not causated by Psychology for Living.
Mom!
Why, Lisa, why?
I understand why she did it, but I still can't believe Pearl would betray Garnet's trust like that.
It's a little late for tears, isn't it, Barbara?
Yeesh.
Even though you didn't know it was going to happen today, you've still had your whole life to prepare for it.
You were a failure even
Of
as
course,
an
you've gotten
infant.
into the habit of not being prepared. And now it's a little late, isn't it?
So late we had to dub your crying in post so you wouldn't wake the neighbors.
You're a creature of habit, Barbara. We all are.
Filthy, disgusting
Unfortunately, not all of your
creatures.
habits are good ones. This was how your day started. Started wrong.
Even fleeting joy is a sin, Barbara.
Your neighbor, Helen, is a creature of habit, too. But she got up when the alarm went off. Because, Barbara, that's what she really had in mind when she said it.
But I set my alarm 10 minutes early so I can ease
Now
into...
shut up and listen to how much better Helen is than you, Barbara.
Helen has trained herself to know what she's going to do, in what order, and
Anal
where the
retentiveness
things
is
are
the
to
only
do it
true
with.
path.
She really doesn't have to think about it.
She
She
lets
already
authority
knows
think
what
for
clothes
her.
she's going to wear today. As it turned out, it was a special day for Helen, too.
Her father
But
was
she
being
makes a
transferred to
habit of
Stepford,
being
Connecticut.
ready for special days. She starts by having a place for things and keeping them there.
Just as people should be kept in their places, Barbara.
She uses taste in selecting her clothes.
She'll
But
lick
more
every
than
garment
that,
at least
she
3
keeps them
times to be
clean
sure of her choice.
and mended. And she's able to match the right skirt with the right sweater.
She could save a lot of time by employing the Velma technique.
Hello, Cleveland!
Rock and roll!
This was going to be a special day for you.
You're getting
But you
married to
hadn't
Khal
gotten very
Drogo
far with
today.
your preparations for it. Was your whole family asleep? No, your mother was up. Had been for an hour.
She was working the lighthouse shift.
Barbara, get up. You'll be late for school.
Does she have to do this every morning, Barbara?
Don't know, I'm usually
Barbara, do you
sleeping at this
hear me?
point.
If your mother stopped acting like a second alarm clock for even one day, you'd probably think it was a dirty...
Whoa!
The end of that sentence was so filthy it broke
You
time.
didn't seem at all appreciative. Even if you're not really well-mannered, you could make a habit of being civil.
You could make a habit
you
of not
weren't
being so
really up when your
condescending,
mother called
announcer
you.
lady.
Little lies are such a firm foundation for big ones.
Like your claim
You
to have
started
written all of
your day
Shakespeare's
with
works.
no plan at all. Looking for your hairbrush?
I put it in
Can't
that
remember where
basket
you
of
left it?
cobras.
You forgot other important things today.
Like those nuclear launch codes.
And the Alamo.
And Utah.
You meant to fix that collar, but you've gotten into the habit of putting things off. There are so many things you plan to do this coming Saturday, or the one after that.
Hey, stuff snowballs,
Let's
lady.
see.
A seam
You
burst.
found
A
the
relative
algebra
comes into town.
notebook you
There's
lost.
problems with cameras and software and videos
ski
closing
pants you
down
meant to put
and
away
rotor
in the
cuffs
chest.
and hunching over.
The
Back
Afghan you
off!
started to knit last summer.
Touched a fourth wall nerve there?
Just a
And
skosh.
oh yes, the sweater you were looking for.
I know it's ruined, but I won't warn you.
Wake up, Manfred the Milkman!
You decided to cover the spots on your sweater with a scarf. You often do that.
I mean,
But you can't
imperfect
forget that the
clothes.
spots
What
are
are you,
there.
poor?
If you had a habit plan for your mornings, you might get off to a decent start someday.
Though you'd probably mess that up too,
Helen has a habit
Barbara.
plan, and it includes a healthy breakfast and a pleasant word with her parents.
Boner!
All three always enjoyed Mr. Elliott's comments on the news.
Mr. Elliot was the Jon Stewart of his time. His
It was time to
backwards,
get started
vice
for
tight
office and
rectum
school.
time.
Helen's dad would drop her on the way downtown. And who could ask for a nicer way to go to school?
All the cool kids get driven to school by their parents.
It's a frickin' tank! That thing's bigger than my first apartment!
Your brother was ready, but your father couldn't wait for you.
His
So you
dominatrix
could have
said
driven
9
to
a.m.
school
sharp.
with him. He used to enjoy that drive, too.
The way you'd shriek in terror as he mowed down pedestrians.
Your eggs were cold this morning.
As
But
cold
you
as my
had no
hatred
time
for
to be
you,
picky about food or
Barbara.
think about your diet. No time for milk, or even to say good morning.
No time for cop.
No time for manners.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
You made a pretty picture with your rumpled skirt, your spotted sweater, and your hair in a tizzy.
How dare you invent the manic pixie dream girl look 50 years early?
As usual, all your neighbors knew how late it was when you went by at your regular dog trot.
Ah, suburbia, putting the mental in
You were late for
judgmental
school
since
this morning.
1954.
But then you're almost always late. And you're guilty about it.
Yeesh,
More so
Obama's
because
birth
your
certificate
lateness
went
is
through less
habitual.
scrutiny than this.
You're in a rut with a bad habit.
Trent has
And
in
the
a rut with a
longer you
bad
stick
habit
with
on
the
DVD.
habit, the deeper
Oh,
the
how
rut
is it?
gets.
I don't think the filmmakers really got
When
life
you
in a
saw Helen,
nunnery.
you suddenly felt envious. But more than that, you felt a distaste for your sloppy ways. And you knew you could do something about them if only...
Helen were dead.
That wasn't a happy thought, was it?
Yeah, actually.
Or do you always drum with your fingers?
What, you're criticizing how she reconsiders her life? Are you the devil?
Woof, major SPD there. Oh,
Them cold eggs.
You were just chatting away with Helen when it happened, when the day suddenly turned into something special.
Your mutant powers emerged
You've
and
never been
disintegrated
friends
her
with Aunt
instantly.
Tolliver, and you've always wanted to be.
Hi. Hi. Some of the crowd's coming over to my house right after school. Do you think you two could make it? Well, that'd be
Your kidneys are still in good shape, right?
Swell. Well, what do you say, Bobby? Sure, thanks. Okay, see you later. Bye.
That'll be fun, won't it?
Oh, yes.
I've been saving cockroaches for months. This will be great.
School year sees new groups forming, old ones reforming. Yours is a changing social world, and the
And if those
opportunities
changes
to be
are
part of
unfair
it
or
must be
confusing to
taken
you,
when they
then that's
arrive.
your fault.
You knew this afternoon that you were making a bad impression.
Oh,
and
like
you
Jeff
knew how
Dunham?
easy it is not to be invited again, and how quickly you can be left out of the crowd.
Barbara, these posers will never accept you. Throw them the finger and go reinvent yourself as a beatnik or a suffragette or
You have
something.
neglected to clean.
So what's your opinion on the crisis in the Ukraine?
Well, the roots of it clearly go back to Tsarist Russia.
You worried about the spots on your sweater, Barbara.
They're coming to
But
get
what
you,
really showed up were your
Barbara.
habits. You didn't find it very pleasant comparing yourself with the others.
So don't!
I said, what do you think?
You weren't listening. You seldom do.
If you don't
a
hear
habit
through
of
your
yours.
retainer, it's just in one ear and out the other.
I guess I don't know much about it.
They were talking about a popular book. All your friends were interested, but you never got into the habit of reading books.
Thankfully, the book they were talking about was The Maze Runner, and thus you were spared having to suffer through that god-awful piece of pointlessly convoluted drivel.
She married back to the same kind of lying.
Well, that's why I think the book's stupid.
See?
Why
They
couldn't
agree.
she see?
No, you added nothing to that conversation.
She can't complain about
The
fiction
trouble
she's
with me
never
is getting
seen. The
started.
internet's decades
I always have to
away.
force myself to do new things. I'm the same way. I didn't even want to go to my first concert.
Wait,
because
they're
I
having
thought it
a
would be too
conversation of their
long-winded.
own?
Oh,
But
the music
what makes a
is
good
wonderful.
party
I'm gonna
told
go
us
to the
this
whole
was
series.
forbidden by party
My mother
law.
had to
My
drive me to the
worldview has been
museum.
shattered.
But they have a wonderful costume exhibit there. I got an idea for a new dress. Oh, what kind?
You've never taken an interest in music or politics or art.
This is tipped over from cruel straight into absurd. Are you implying that she has no
we always
hobbies
go
or
to the beach.
interests at
And when you would
all?
take a cottage at Essex.
You've only been once.
You said the Hollywood Hills like you've been there before.
It's quiet where we go. And there are tennis courts at the hotels, too, and dances every weekend. It sounds grand.
Look,
Just
we're
a
trying to
short way to the
exclude
city.
you and ruin your
You
self-confidence, so
couldn't
if you could
help
just,
interrupting, could you? And you couldn't help stretching truth like a rubber band. We all like to talk about ourselves.
Except
But a
me, I
soliloquy
prefer to
isn't
talk
a
smiggity smack
conversation.
about you,
First,
Barbara.
you didn't talk at all, and then you did all the talking. Conversation is a two-way street.
Yeah, but
Shut up,
For you,
Barbara,
it's
I'm not
either
done
one
berating
way
you.
Or a dead end.
Goodbye. I hope you had a very nice
Thank you, I did.
Bye.
Hey,
See you
is that
tomorrow.
picture Tom Baker?
Goodbye,
The
Barbara.
doctor is real.
Starch, I love you, but I may set you on fire.
In all society,
fair.
at all ages, we know that people are going to talk about other people. Unfortunately, our faults are often more discussed than our good points. And
Especially
sometimes
by
our good
me.
points are completely hidden by our faults. But perhaps worst of all is our own disappointment in ourselves.
Lady,
And the
what you've been
remarks we
describing
imagine
here
our
are signs of
friends are
clinical
making about
depression.
us.
Back the off.
Gee, I think dirty fingernails are horrible.
Coffee is for closers.
They've got us surrounded.
Give us Barabbas.
Bad manners are still bad manners no matter what you call them.
Now, in your own room, the memory of this day stands between you and your whole pattern of behavior.
Now take this lightsaber and
Where
go
will
into
you
that cave
start?
over there.
Your complexion? That starts with soap and water and goes on to regular meals and the right kind of food.
Helen mostly eats
Your
soap and
hair?
water.
It's more than just a shampoo.
It's a
when you
dessert
happen to think of
topping.
it. Your clothes, not just cleaned when your mother takes them away from you,
So
but a
she can
system
burn
of
them in the
cleaning.
backyard.
For all of a pattern, a network of habits. Helen checks her clothes for cleaning when she takes them off. That's a habit of hers.
No sniff test?
This morning, Helen took her skirt from the front of the closet. Tonight, she hangs it in the back.
Just like how she
That's a
pushes her
habit,
hopes
too.
and aspirations to the back
One
of her
on the
psyche.
plus side. It gives clothes a chance to hang.
Chill
rests
out,
the
smoke a
fabric.
bowl.
Tonight, Helen makes a plan for tomorrow. A what to wear, what to do, when to do it, designed for living.
Spontaneity is for sharecroppers and chorus girls, young lady.
For special days.
I'd be calm and cool every day, too, if I had angelic music to carry me off to sleep every night.
Good habits save time and energy and give us greater freedom to do those extra things we want to do.
Like reading the latest from Glenn Beck.
So, prepping for a Japanese tea ceremony, or...
Yes, a good start. But these improvements are not yet habits, not by any means.
How dare
They
you
must
have a
happen
moment of hope?
Again and again, until they fit into the fabric of the days without conscious thought. If you try, really try, you can root out the poor, accidental habits and establish in their place the good habits approved by custom, accepted by society.
Demanded by Moloch, the great wood owl. Is that Arabesh on her pajamas?
Timely.
Thank you.
Barbara remembers not to point her ass at the camera. Good God, have we had 5 consecutive seconds without a berating narrator?
I think so. It's amazing.
Across the street, Helen's light goes out.
Oh, I think her light went out a long time ago.
Her pattern. And you, Barbara? Well, you've had a hard day.
Especially
But
with
staying
me riding
awake
your
to
ass
think
every
about it won't
second.
help it any. Go to bed early for a change. Give yourself a good start on a new day.
And I'll be waiting with a long list of your failures in the morning. Good night, Barbara.
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 Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, skipped a page there.
Oh, you really screwed that one up bad, didn't you, Barbara? Helen reads properly. Helen only needs 3 squares of toilet paper, Barbara. Also, she conforms to society's norms by putting the roll front-facing.
But I have a cat, and if I do that, she'll just pull it all.
Shut up! I need this to cover my own insecurities.
Can I have some privacy?
No.
Oh, dang it!
Helen wouldn't have let Pinky sneak up on her like that, Barbara. And because she eats a healthy breakfast with her parents who actually love and support her career decisions, her high score is several thousand points higher than yours. Helen is the daughter my mom wishes she had. Oh, is being a voice actress not good enough for you, Mom? You wanted me to be a nurse or a secretary rather than make a name for myself? Being a nurse was your dream, Mom. Yours, not mine.
All right, I've had just about enough of this.
B. Plaque?
That's right. I'm here to put an end to this slander of the incorporeal voice I love.
Okay, you just got even creepier.
What? How dare you? Judith and I have been married since 1983.
Really?
Judith?
Yes, really. Isn't that right, my love?
That's right, dear.
You know, I'm starting to think our show's kind of weird.
Glad to meet you, Mrs. Plaque.
I kept my name, young man. Call me Judith. Judith Mental.
Should have guessed.
So, how?
We met at a Friars Club roast for Don Pardo. It was love at first hear.
We went to the boardwalk that night and verbally tormented the children for eating cotton candy. It was magical.
Honey, you are sweet.
As candy!
Hilarious, dear. But as I was about to say, I don't need you to protect me. Fellows, it was a different time. We didn't know that the behaviors I was describing were often symptoms of treatable disorders rather than personality flaws.
If I can interrupt.
I know what you're about to ask, and I sound different now because I was hiding my accent back then. Do you really think I'd be hired in the 50s otherwise?
Curiosity sated. Go ahead.
Anyhow, I know the sting of that as well. I have compulsive voiceover disorder. And that wasn't added to the DSM until 3 years ago.
CVOD?
Oh, don't worry, it's treatable. Thanks to prescription Pieholics, the twice-a-day tablet for controlling your voiceover urges. Ask your doctor if prescription Pieholics is right for you. A certain percentage of people on Pieholics experience side effects including dry mouth, redness and irritation, swelling of the tongue, psoriasis, leprosy, headaches, head lice, head cheese, glaucoma, progeria, whooping cough, charley horse, writer's cramp, wanker's cramp, shortness of breath, vomiting, exploding non-fatal bone disease, kidney stone, synesthesia, halitosis, Dunchelm disease, hangnail, diminished gluteal syndrome, wash from the knee, pyorrhea, diarrhea, gonorrhea, rhea perlman, ingrown toenails, gun repair or get your degree, verrucas, gingivitis.
Oh, yes.
Insomnia, albinism, chungus, narcolepsy, fever for the flavour of a Pringle, lycanthropy, acid reflux, getting rickrolled, bald spots, hockey hair, nymphomania, primus apotheosis, evil twins, the sniffles, the wiggles, getting hit by a runaway Zambini, rickets, one of those little pimples on the edge of your lip that isn't ready to pop yet but still hurts a whole lot, nausea, asthma, Mitchell, and just straight up killing over dead.
Hey, Pipples, if you liked our nonsense, why not give us a like, or a subscribe, or leave a comment down there somewhere?
You can also do us a big solid by joining our Patreon, where you'll get to join us for live streams, get early access to the newest videos, and other such things.
I'm well aware that any discomfort I had for that, mostly my fault. Geek Vision.